I swear to God, if Rice ended up joining City, I might have been locked in a psych ward by now. Our season would have literally been in shambles at this point if not for him. Even with all the love he's been getting from Arsenal fans, it's still being understated just how important he is to the team. Overpaid this, overpaid that. Come on now. Watching the overpaid debates slowly die out and turn into Rice versus Rodri debates tells you everything you need to know. Barely anyone says he was overpaid anymore, and for very good reason. At some point, you just can't deny it. He's nice, bro. Keeping him away from Manchester City alone is enough to make the price worth it. The more I watch him at Arsenal, the more relieved I am that Pep couldn't get him. It would have been raps. Completely raps. If we never signed Rice, we would have been putting out a midfield lineup of Odegaard, Jorginho, and Havertz on a consistent basis in the first few months of the season. Read that again. Odegaard, Havertz, and Jorginho. You know what that would have done to my mental health? I could cry right now just thinking about it. Obviously, that's without an injured Partey, but even then, the midfield would still clearly be the weakest part of our team by far. Rice has been the best player on our team so far this year, and I personally don't think there's too much of a debate. He's been the leader even without the captain's armband, and he's led by example as well. His IQ is insanely high, and his reaction time is insanely good. He's made two extremely important goal line clearances this season. One against Manchester City early in the game, and another one recently against Brentford when Ramsdale had brain diarrhea and forgot he was a professional football player. Rice makes extremely smart and precise tackles too. He's one of the best ball hawks in the world. I've definitely said it in multiple videos before, but the significance of what he does goes under the radar for some people because he doesn't even allow attacks to develop into threats. Saliba gets more highlight reel tackles and plays because that's when shit is about to hit the fan. But a lot of the time in the midfield and outside the box, Rice is already there snatching the ball away, waiting for the right moment to stick his foot in there or biding his time and leaping in front of a risky pass. He's way smarter than a lot of other DMs too. Just look at the fouls. Rodri has 15 fouls, 4 yellows, and a red in 11 games. Basuma has 16 fouls, 5 yellows, and a red in 11 games. Palhinha has 17 fouls and 5 yellows in 10 games. These aren't awful numbers by any means. I mean, these guys are defensive midfielders. Come on. They're going to stake their foot out a little wrong every now and then, and sometimes they have the occasional rough play. But Rice has played more games than all of them, and he only has 7 fouls. On top of that, he hasn't received a single card in the Premier League this season, yellow or red. The game against Manchester City was a defensive masterclass. Obviously, City was missing both Rodri and KDB, so it's a little bit misleading to act like he actually dominated their midfield anywhere near their best, but that doesn't change the fact that he still silenced a good team with the most frustrating tactics on the planet. If City got Rice, there's a 99% chance I'm not even saying anymore by this point in the season. They're already bad enough. Imagine what their healthy lineup would be. Pep's weird ass started playing Stones at CDM last year like a freak, so there's a genuine argument for Rice being the third best CDM on that team. Declan Rice, the third best CDM on a team. Call the $150 million too much if you want, but the rest of the big six should be thanking Arsenal for saving us from the most outrageous football ever played in the history of the sport. The fact that we came that close to Pep having that at his disposal is scary. You know what that ball-headed hellspawn would do with Rice too? Imagine the demonic lineups we'd be seeing on a weekly basis. Just think about it. He could put Haaland, Silva, and Grealish up front, KDB, Rodri, and Rice in the midfield, and Walker, Stones, Diaz, and Akanji out back. Even with all that, they still got Doku, Foden, Alvarez, Kovacic, Ake, and Guardiola on the bench. They could play with 2 strikers up front and 3 attacking midfielders behind them, probably KDB, Silva, and Foden. Rice and Rodri behind them, and then the back 3 are Diaz, Stones, and Akanji. I don't know. These are just random things that a normal coach would probably do with that level of firepower. Pep would probably come up with some freakish new way to use Rice, though, and I hate to say that I'm interested in what it would have been. Manchester City is one of those teams where the domination is so frustrating, but it's also so impressive that you literally cannot deny the greatness whatsoever. I'm just glad I didn't have to watch Rice or abuse Havertz in the midfield. Do you know how many times he would catch him lacking? It would be like taking candy from a baby. A couple Arsenal fans who didn't like the signing are still sticking to their guns and saying he was overpaid. Listen, there's never going to be a single player on earth who has every single person in their corner, but I feel like the majority of Arsenal fans have come around. Rice is tough as hell, and he's absolutely the future captain. Is he the best defensive midfielder in the world? You're damn right he is. Nah, I'm playing. Rodri is probably the only DM in the world I'd 100% put above Rice. You could argue that Rice has been better so far this season too, to be honest. Of course, that doesn't put him above Rodri. Rodri just won the treble as the UCL player of the tournament and finished top 5 in Ballon d'Or voting along with winning a trophy with Spain. I feel like Rice is better defensively, but either way, Rodri is the only one better than him at the moment. Tchouaméni is somewhere near that convo. Kimmich is somewhere near that convo. There's definitely a few other players around that level, but there's only one ahead definitively right now for me. Is there a little bit of Arsenal bias in that? I don't know, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell when you're being biased because you naturally appreciate things that are done for your team more than things done for another team. So they may seem like better plays to you than someone else. I don't know. I don't think that's the case here, though. All I know is rival fans were making fun of us for spending all that money on him when we probably saved the league for the next 5 years by snatching him from Pep.